This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on the agenda today. I'm Tito, Jeff Thitoff, Big Mo, sitting very close to me. And Bobby Carpenter from Parts Unknown over there. Carp, how you doing, buddy? Nice Thanksgiving?
Oh, great Thanksgiving, sir. Excited to be in here with you guys. Super juiced about everything that's going on. We're off and rolling. No technical difficulties. Mo's got it taken care of today. So very excited. Some great football, some great people, some great food yesterday. And that, to me, is always kind of what the essence of Thanksgiving is.
We've got a big show lined up for you today. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin and Event Risk Elite Protection. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3. Also, you can download the show anytime. Catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Also, we are now live on Facebook and Twitter. Here, replay of this here show on the Fan 2, 1460 from 1 to 3 p.m. We'll have Al Breer joining us around 7:05. The great A.J. Hawk. The best way to finish up Michigan week is a conversation with A.J., the Jackets host Penguins tonight at 7, Cavs in Atlanta at 7:30. NFL yesterday, you had Packers over the Lions, 31-24. Cowboys defeated the Chiefs. God, Bodie's got to be so excited, Bobby. This might be the happy.
Coach, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I'm telling you, I said don't let the Cowboys get into the playoffs. Cowboys 31, Chiefs 28. Bengals get a surprising win in Baltimore. I think surprising for me, Bob. I don't know about for you, 32-14.
Well, they just kept driving and scoring. And if Baltimore and the Ravens are just going to keep giving you the ball back, I mean, they're in the holiday spirit. You know, they're very generous, and they're just going to give the ball away. And Dallas tried to do it.
Yeah. As
they were down there up 7. I'm like, well, I literally looked at I guess it's my wife's cousin's son. They live in Dallas. They came up for the game. I'm like, they're going to win this. I go, the only thing they can't do is turn the ball over. And then Dak tries to throw one in. He shouldn't. The ball's ricocheting and carrying off everybody, bouncing around, almost getting picked. And then the next play, George Pickens puts it on the ground.
Yeah.
And they were trying to give it away. And then the Ravens, they would drive down. I'm like, well, if they score here, they'll have a shot. Oh, no, we're going to turn it over. Oh, now that's their last one. I'm like, oh, there's 5 minutes left. If they score here, it'll be tight, but they can still get the ball back. Oh, we're just going to give it to you one more time. So they kept putting the ball on the ground. And that's the moral of the story here when you start talking about the NFL or any football, really. You can't turn it over. If you turn it over, you're not going to win. And those last 2 games yesterday were really a microcosm of that.
Bears and Eagles play today at 3 o'clock on the Amazon Prime game for the Black Friday. And then what a slate we have in college football today, Bob. There's a lot going on with that as well. And I can't believe now we are 3 minutes into the show. I haven't really discussed Michigan, Ohio State yet. That's on me. But anyway, today you've got Ole Miss, Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl at noon. Utah's at Kansas at noon. Iowa, Nebraska at noon. For those of you who are Maction fans, Ohio's at Buffalo at noon as well. What are the big games? We got Georgia Tech at 3:30. And then tonight, A&M against Texas, and also Arizona at Arizona State. Texas A&M kicks off at 7:30. Arizona State at 9. So men's basketball, Ohio State takes on Pitt tonight at 7 o'clock. So lots going on there, Bob. And I know we've got some built-in segments we do where we're going to, obviously, we got our, the quick hitters, and we're going to have Breer, we're going to have AJ on. And every other waking minute, we'll probably be talking about this Ohio State-Michigan game. And tell me if I'm wrong on this, Bob. Now you're in the media. You're also a former Buckeye, and you have a circle of people that you communicate with all the time. They're former Buckeyes as well, played in this game. I get the sense that the outcome of this game on Saturday will have a huge impact just on the mood in the entire state. I always feel that way, Bob. If if Ohio State loses, it just seems like it's a grayer day and people aren't nearly as kind. Does that make sense?
I don't think you're wrong in saying that. This game obviously has big, huge emotional implications. You've heard Ryan Day talk about it. There's a lot of people that care a whole heck of a lot about the outcome of this game and what it's going to mean for their holiday season, how it wraps up their 2025. So, yeah, Thitoff, there is a lot that goes into this. and I can understand that. I mean, that's always the way it's been. It was that way last year, and it'll be that way this year. So, yes, there is a lot that is riding on this football game.
And I don't know if that says more about us or about about the importance of college football. Because it will. I do really feel like it's gonna. I've never gotten so angry after Ohio State game to where like I've done something stupid.
Pushed your wife down the stairs.
Didn't do that. No.
Like that.
I mean, it's a good thing we don't have only one floor. But yes, or maybe it would have. But no. But Bob, so like I've seen people get that way, and on the inside, I guess I want to do those things sometimes. But like last year, I certainly did. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see a nice little study of humanity, depending on what happens in this game, and see what goes on.
Is Heather out Black Friday shopping right now?
She's not. Okay. So we're going to go to a friend's house yesterday for Thanksgiving, and she's not feeling great.
Sounds like that didn't happen.
No. So like we'd planned this for a while, but she wasn't feeling great. All of a sudden, had a headache. Kids were being pains in the what, but and she's like, okay, I'm not going. And I said, well,
what?
It's
Thanksgiving.
I know. And then I said, well, let's just go. And I said, look, you can spend the night there if you want to. And we'll drive separate. You can spend the night. I need to get home earlier than that because I got home last night. So I have to.
Her headache went away.
So she finally goes, right? But she's adamant.
Oh, got it.
I'm not spending the night. I'm not going to spend. I can't spend the night, Jeff. It's just there's too much going on. Charlotte's got to swim. I'm with my brother during the day, and so I said, okay, we won't drive. We'll drive together. We'll leave there around 7:30. Come home. I get home around 8:15, and do my show prep and get to bed at a decent hour. So around 7:15, she's playing a card game with everybody, having a great time. It gets to about 7:30.
Headache mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah, right. And so I said, hey, honey, it's 7:30. You ready to wrap up? So we just started this game. And I said, okay, well, after that game, you want to go? She said, yeah, we'll go after that game. And then so she plays and plays and plays. Now it's 8:30.
What card game were they
I think they were playing 31, kind of a euchre knockoff kind of thing. You play with 6 people. And so, but there's a lot of ways you can lose points. So anyway, it's 8:30. Honey, we got to get going here probably. It's okay.
I got to work tomorrow. Is what you got to say.
I said that's why. And I'm like, and she's having a great time, which I love seeing. I love when she has a great time. That she was really enjoying herself. And then it gets to 9:00, and I'm like, hey, we got to get going. And I said, if you want to spend the night, you can. And she said, well, I don't have to get home tomorrow morning, so I've got to be there early for a swim and all this other stuff she has to do. And 9:45, she says, okay, me and the kids are going to spend the night here. We'll get a ride tomorrow.
She drug you all the way that long and then
Yes.
stayed the night anyway. That's beautiful.
Yes, it was.
Good for her. Real power play.
I'm glad she had fun. That's what she does. She showed who the boss was on that one. But yeah, so it was. I had fun.
Tony Danza?
Yes, that's fine. I'm a little bit tired. That's all. But I'll get through it. It's Michigan week anyway, so that's got me juiced already. There's a preview on that. Bobby, you ready to make us smarter?
Yeah, why not?
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, Jenna, work your magic from parts unknown.
Oh, here we go. It is Friday, November 28th, the last Friday of the month, the last weekday of the month, the Friday before Michigan, the 332nd day of the year. James Laurinaitis days remaining in this 2025. That would be 33. This date, 1520, Magellan passes through the strait that bears his name in South America, seeing the Pacific Ocean for the first time. This date, 1925, the Grand Ole Opry begins broadcasting out of Nashville, Tennessee. 1929, Chicago fullback Ernie Nevers sets an NFL record for points in a game. You want to take a guess on how many points he scored, Thitoff?
What was it? I'm sorry, read to me. I was reading the chat.
Chicago fullback Ernie Nevers sets a NFL record for
30,
points in a game.
I wanted to say 30, so I think it was 40. 40?
It was 40.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Look at you, Thitoff. Good job there. And then this date, 1960, Are You Lonesome Tonight by Elvis Presley. It's number 1, staying there for 6 weeks.
Are you lonesome tonight?
Do you miss me tonight?
Did you play this for Heather before you left?
No, she played it for me. She actually sang it to me over the phone when I got in bed around 11 o'clock last night.
That's good. Yeah, that's nice.
No video,
Nice
just
love.
audio.
Then you get to see more of the Ravens game, though. No video? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Tell me about it.
This date, 1972, the last executions occur in Paris, France. Claude Buffet, I'm going to say Buffet, though.
There we go.
And Roger Bontemps are executed at the La Santé prison. You know how they did the executions, Thitoff? The method that they used?
I mean, it used to be a guillotine, but I'm guessing this is probably firing squad.
No, they still use that guillotine.
Still guillotine there?
The last times, yeah, 53 years ago today, 53 years ago today, they fired that guillotine up for one last time. Do you think they had a basket the head just rolled into? How do you think that worked?
I don't know, and it creeps me out because I imagine once it gets cut off, you probably still have two blinks of the eyes, don't you? Doesn't that kind of happen where maybe the eye blinks again or something like that? Oh.
I've never watched anybody get their head cut off, so
that's true.
I love when
not part of.
They say that it's an instant death, and how do you know?
Right? Yeah,
you don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, you might feel something for a little bit.
That's what she said. This date, 1975, Bobby Orr plays his last game for the Boston Bruins.
Ball rolled it in front. Sanderson tried a shot that was wide, and Keenan cleared it, but not out. Bobby Orr behind the net to Sanderson. Orr! Bobby Orr! Scores for the Boston Bruins! The Bruins Stanley Cup!
There you go. Then this date, 1981, the legendary Paul Bear Bryant wins his 315th game, making him the winningest coach all time in college football history.
Today, this from 19 yards away. And Auburn shocked the crowd and a national TV audience by pulling ahead 17-14. The rest of the game belonged to Alabama, though. The next time the Tide had the football, Walter Lewis was at the controls. Walter guided the team 75 yards in 7 plays, culminating with a perfect touchdown pass to the sure-handed Jesse Bindros. With the extra point kick, Alabama was back on top, 17-14. Then it was time to highlight Lenny Patrick. The sophomore from Jasper tore through the Auburn defense for a 15-yard touchdown midway through the final quarter. The final score, 28-17. For Paul William Bear Bryant, victory number 315 had been achieved.
There we go. Paul Bear Bryant, the legend, if you will. 1987, from the soundtrack of Dirty Dancing, "Had the Time of Your Life" hits number 1.
Baby was never put in a corner after that, Bob.
Nope.
Absolutely not. And this date, 1989, Ricky Henderson signs a record $3 million per year with the Oakland A's. That was back, I guess, when they had enough money to actually set records by paying folks. Wasn't just straight money balling it.
Yep.
And then 1992, "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston, originally by Dolly Parton, but off of her soundtrack to The Bodyguard hits number 1.
And I will always love you.
What's amazing about that I didn't realize that was originally a Dolly Parton song.
Yeah.
That she had sang it, and it's funny. People asked Dolly about it, and she goes, "That's no longer mine." She's like, "That Whitney Houston owns that thing."
Yeah, the Dolly version is much, much different.
I think it's much better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's better.
Oh, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's better. And it was it was used in the movie Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
It was?
Yes.
Was that the one? Oh,
she was in it with Burt Reynolds.
Right. The Sylvester Stallone movie was...
That was Rhinestone.
Rhinestone, where Sylvester Stallone plays a country singer.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
Come on.
No, Bob, it's true. Rhinestone, it's Dolly Parton, and it's Rocky. It's Stallone, and Stallone's an up and coming country singer.
I mean, it's a
When
bad
did this
movie.
come out?
It'd have been like, I think 80.
It's got to be bad. I've never heard of it.
I think
So it had to be
84.
It was 84. Is that late? Okay.
Yeah.
Early to mid 80s there, Bob. Yeah.
It's one of those guilty pleasure movies. Like, you know it's a bad movie, but you actually enjoy watching it.
Rhinestone. I'm going to have to look this up. I've never even heard of it. And I thought I had seen every Stallone movie that there has ever been made, and I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing he did his own singing in that, which is probably what makes it beautiful.
I believe he did, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've seen that one, but yes, 1984. You got it right. Yeah, that's a good call by you. But yeah, Sylvester Stallone is in it. Yeah, and Dolly.
That is amazing. Some birthdays on this date. This date, 1923, 102 years ago today, Gloria Graham was born. The actress, at least best known to me, the only movie I know that she did as I was looking through her catalog was It's a Wonderful Life, where she played the sensual Violet Brown.
Hi, Ernie.
Hiya, George.
Hi, Bert.
George.
Hey, I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style? Huh?
Hey, hop
Yes,
in, Your
sir.
Highness, hop in. And for the carriage trade, I put on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey.
Hello, Violet. Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
What? This old thing? Well, I only wear it when I don't care how I look.
What a great line.
She stops traffic.
Yep.
How would you like to
Yes.
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
No, thanks. I'll go home and see what the wife's doing.
That's
Family
amazing.
man.
That's good stuff. It's funny. I'm glad you pulled that one, Mo, because I was talking to Matt Schick about that on Wednesdays. I was doing some XM with him, and I brought it up because this old thing, I only wear it when I don't care how I look. Like it was the great pull, one of her great lines, obviously, from that movie. Turning 96 today. It's amazing he is still alive. The founder of Motown, Berry Gordy.
Here you are, the greatest entertainer in the world. And here you are, the greatest entertainer in the world, presenting me with an award. How wonderful. Thank you. Michael, I believed in you when you were 9. I believe in you now. And I will never stop believing in you.
It's amazing. Did you think at that point that you would have put money on him outlasting both Rick James and Michael Jackson?
Rick James, maybe. I didn't think Michael, but I thought he'd outlast Rick James.
Pretty remarkable stuff there. Could not believe that he was still hanging tough at 96 years old. Hanging tough at 83 years old. Started with the Browns, but more with the Dolphins. NFL Hall of Famer, donning number 42 with the Ohio State Buckeyes, Paul Warfield.
Paul Warfield was the NFL's most dangerous receiving target. But when the Browns needed a high number 1 draft pick, they reluctantly traded Paul to struggling Miami. The deal made the Dolphins instant Super Bowl contenders.
Many a time I would see Paul count his steps, and as soon as he saw this guy commit to one of the steps that he gave him, he would turn the other way. That's why when you look at films, you see Paul by himself, because the other guy is still back there wondering what the hell happened just then. His uniform was always clean. In other words, he didn't get banged around too much, and he was always off the ground. Every catch that he made, it seemed like he always went up and got it just before the ball was supposed to be coming down. He would go up and get it and leave that defender.
I got a chance to meet Paul. Oh, man, it was right around when I just finished up playing, maybe a year or two after I left Ohio State. And, he'd come up. He was at the Woody Hayes. I think he was there for camp. Maybe one of his grandkids was at football camp there. And it was absolutely tremendous. Like getting a chance, the most famous guy to ever wear your number there, NFL Hall of Famer, and obviously a great guy. And, he came up and said, Paul Warfield. And I'm like, as soon as he said it, I'm like, I know exactly who you are, sir. I appreciate all that. Like, you don't need to go. And he was going to explain some more. And I give him credit for that, not thinking that I would know who he was. But Tress always made sure that we knew the importance of the people that had worn that jersey before us. And one of the greatest compliments I ever got in my life was I had asked him, I was like, hopefully did the number proud. And he's like, you did plenty, big guy, plenty. And like a reference that he thought I had done a good job. And that meant a lot to me, just knowing everything that he had achieved in his life. And I don't know if he still holds the record, but at one point he held the NFL record for, I want to say it was yards per catch.
Right.
I mean, it was like 19. I mean, it was something crazy just because he was such a big play threat, but unbelievable man and obviously a great player, Mr. Paul Warfield.
Hey, Bob, not that you wouldn't anyway. I'm just saying, but having that conversation with Paul Warfield, did it make you more likely to did it make it important for you, for anybody who wore 42 after you, to watch them a little closer and recognize them and things like that?
Maybe a little bit. There were some guys who I knew that wore it after me, and I would tell them, hopefully you. I'm like, no, I appreciate that. I was like, but the greatest guy to wear it is Mr. Paul Warfield. You need to look him up. I'm like, he's in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, there was not that. I mean, I respected it before, but after, Tress 1 year, I forget, it was maybe our junior year, sophomore. They put in everybody's locker, everybody that had worn your number that it had.
Oh.
And then, and worn it to some degree of success and had their accolades in there, and whether it was all Big Ten, All American,
right, anything
else they'd worn. And I remember, Paul Warfield was the first on the list that had worn it, and what he obviously had done.
Do you guys remember, I don't know if you would remember, Bobby, but in the mid-'80s, they would replay the Ohio State football games on WOSU.
Late 70s, early 80s, on Sunday morning when games weren't televised that much.
That's how I was introduced to Paul Warfield, because he was the color guy on those. And it was so awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was he was a great color guy.
It was 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. They would replay it on WOSU with the Warfield doing the color. I can't remember who the play-by-play guy was, but that was because back then Ohio State was on TV 2 or 3 times a year at the most. So if you wanted to watch the game, you had to watch the replay of it the next day when the WSU did it.
Gosh, for kids to think of that today. Now I was complaining because you get the quad box, you watch 4 games at once.
Right? Yeah.
What are we talking about? Some other birthdays today. Born in this state, 1950, turning 75, the phenomenal Ed Harris.
Okay, John. And then we finish the burn, we'll power down the limb.
All right.
Now, in the meantime, we're going to have a frozen command module up there. In a couple days, we're going to have to power it up using nothing but the re-entry batteries.
Never been tried before. Hell, we've never even simulated it before, Gene.
Well, we're going to have to figure it out. I want people in our simulators working re-entry scenarios. I want you guys to find every engineer who designed every switch, every circuit, every transistor, and every light bulb that's up there. Then I want you to talk to the guy in the assembly line who actually built the thing. Find out how to squeeze every amp out of both of these goddamn machines. I want this mark all the way back to Earth with time to spare. We never lost an American in space. We're sure as hell not going to lose one on my watch. Failure is not an option.
That was
that's from Thitoff.
Yeah, of course I've seen that movie. It's a classic. Gene Cranston? Is that the character?
Gene Krantz.
Gene Krantz. And years ago at a Damon's convention we had down in Florida, he was the guest speaker, so I got to meet him and talk to him a little bit. And it was around it was shortly after. It might have been shortly after the movie came out. I can't remember exactly when. But anyway, it was it was fun to meet him and hear him talk about it. Because I'm sitting here, when I talk to him, I'm thinking about Ed Harris in my mind the whole time. But yeah, it was fun to meet him.
Oh, it's amazing, the line in there where it's going to be a bleeping disaster, with all of this, and he goes, on the contrary, sir, I think this will be our finest hour.
Right, yeah. He's telling a reporter, the one guy saying, this could be the worst disaster NASA's ever had. And he says, with all due respect, sir, I think this will be our finest hour. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I haven't watched that in probably 20-some years, but when they dump the whole thing on the table, it's like, we've got to get this to fit into this.
Right.
They've got like the square air filters and like the round deal that they have. Like, it's amazing, and it's unbelievable how they're able to get that done and get that all figured out there. So Ed Harris portraying, who was the gentleman you set that off?
Gene Kranz.
Gene Kranz. There you go. Turning 66. Remember the Brat Pack star of the Breakfast Club, Judd Nelson.
Eat my shorts.
You just bought yourself another Saturday, mister.
Crushed.
You just bought one more right there.
Well, I'm free the Saturday after that. Beyond that, I'm gonna have to check my calendar.
Good, because it's gonna be filled. We'll keep going. You want another one? Say the word. Just say the word. Instead of going to prison, you'll come here. Are you through?
No.
No. I'm doing society a favor.
So?
That's another one right now. I've got you for the rest of your natural-born life if you don't watch your step. You want another one?
Yes.
You got it. You got another one right there. That's another one, pal.
Cut it out.
You through?
Not even close, bud.
Good. You got one more right there.
It's amazing. Amazing. You a Breakfast Club fan, Thitoff?
Yes, and I got a buddy of mine growing up. We were in high school. He could recite the entire movie. He watched it so many times. And I went to Saturday school so many times, so I kind of could relate to that.
That's good. Good stuff. Matt Cameron turning 63, the drummer for Soundgarden. John Stewart, also turning 63 years young.
I wanted to thank you all for coming tonight. Or I guess I should say, how. I'm getting it. Tomorrow I'm leaving for China to represent the fine firm of Morton and Mandel. Yes, me, the same guy who once shaved his ass to win a $5 bet. Prove it! Just kidding. But I am real glad you're all here tonight because I'm about to do something that I never thought I'd have the guts to do.
You're not proposing, are you?
Yeah, pal, I am.
Well, think about it,
God, Sonny, shut up.
Anyway, will you?
Yeah.
Good calm. 2 weeks, pal.
That was a classic. I watched it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago with my son Caleb. Loved it. John Stewart from Big Daddy right there. Turning 60 today, one of the great home run hitters during the mid-'90s with the Cleveland Indians. Matt Williams turning 60 years old.
Ball here. And Williams gets into it. Left center field. At the track. At the wall. Gone. A 2-run home run. And a 7-3 Cleveland lead. That ball just sitting about thigh high to Matt Williams. He did not get it down, but Williams got it up.
But Williams got it up. Turning 33 today, Jarvis Landry, former Browns wide receiver. Some passings today, passing away 2 years ago in 2023. Charlie Munger, the #1 guy for Warren Buffett. Zig Ziglar, the former soldier and military and motivational speaker, passing away on this date, 2012. Passing away in 2010, one of the stars of Naked Gun and many other movies, Leslie Nielsen.
You'd better tell the captain we've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Certainly.
Captain, how soon can you land?
I can't tell.
You can tell me I'm a doctor.
No, I mean, I'm just not sure.
Or can't you take a guess?
Well, not for another 2 hours.
You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?
No. I mean, we can't land for another 2 hours. Fog has closed down everything this side of the mountains. We've got to get through to Chicago.
That's a great line.
That is. You can't guess for another 2 hours. Oh, he was so serious, so tremendous in those as well. And then passing away on this date, 1994, 31 years ago today, one of Thitoff's favorites, Jeffrey Dahmer.
A gruesome story leads off our newscast.
Milwaukee police found body parts in a North Side apartment, and now they wonder if they've uncovered some kind of death factory. This was the scene earlier this morning. Police hired a private contractor to haul a refrigerator and a tank of acid out of the apartment in the 900 block of North 25th Street. Because of the acid, some neighbors were evacuated briefly. Police found parts of bodies, leading them to believe the man they arrested is a mass murderer.
From our investigation, we feel that this individual strongly is involved in other homicides. We have taken evidence out of the building by the medical examiner to be examined.
What brought the police here in the first place?
The officers were stopped by an individual who claimed he was in the apartment and became engaged in a dispute with the owner of the apartment and left the apartment and called the officers.
A 31-year-old man was arrested at that apartment. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner will release more details on this case this morning at 10 o'clock. But a police lieutenant tells us he suspects this case could get national attention and could be the most gruesome case we have seen in Milwaukee in years.
Understatement of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Would you go to Jeffrey Dahmer's for Thanksgiving, Thitoff?
That's a good question. If I did, I'd make sure I wore like a very heavy coat or something that'd be tough to stab through or something, you know.
Would you be willing to eat the food that was there?
I'd probably have the stuffing, but not much else.
That's it?
That's
You
it.
wouldn't have some of the tenderloin?
I don't think I'd have that, no. And I would certainly feel awkward asking if it was white or dark meat.
That's great.
Good call.
Absolutely. Have it with a nice Chianti and some fava beans. It's tremendous stuff. Love that you enjoy that. Nice little celebration for our guy, yes. Mr. Jeffrey Dahmer. Some holidays observances today. It's Black Friday, Buy Nothing Day, Fur Free Friday. How about that? National Letter Writing Day, National French Toast Day, National Leftovers Day as well. And those historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date, Friday, November 28th, the 332nd day of the year, and 33 days remaining in this 2025.
Well done as always, General. Coming up next, we're going to play the kind of compiled the clips from former Ohio State players and coaches about what the game means to them. We're going to play that back for you next. This is Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Hey, does this sound like you where every step or reach is a reminder that it hurts? The pain is there. A reminder of what you're not able to do, how far you've drifted from that life you used to have and love where you didn't have the pain. Listen, if this is you, if this is a family member, you need to talk to them about it. You need to do what I did and go to QC Kinetics. They've got the answers for you, the relief without the scalpel, without the surgery. At QC Kinetics, they tap into your body's own regenerative power. The damaged tissue, it can be healed by itself. It's not science fiction. It's your body's comeback story. The very cells in your body can help you get healed with no surgery, no pills, no long recovery, just remembering how to move and feel alive again so you can golf, hike, do all the stuff you love to do. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544. They have offices all over Columbus, so be sure to check them out at 380-208-4544. Looking for Black Friday truck deals? Then head to Germain Toyota. Right now, the savings are straight up and the offers are real. Right now, drive home a 2025 Tacoma with 0% financing up to 48 months with every vehicle sold at MSRP and 20% down. No trade required, or step up to the power of a 2025 or 2026 Tundra. Also 0% financing for up to 72 months. No gimmicks, no games. MSRP pricing and 20% down. No trade needed. 0% Black Friday savings at Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Bobby and Tito, we're going to get to the video here in just a second, Bob, but I think you want to tell us about something first, my friend.
Oh, do you need a bank that truly values local business in Columbus and an opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin, they've got the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, Big Mo, let's do it.
Tight end, 99-03. What does this Ohio State-Michigan game mean? It's the foundation, the cornerstone of playing for Ohio State. It's how you're measured. It's how you're remembered. One thing you may not realize, Ohio State's always good. Like there's no down seasons. We don't do what Penn State is doing this year. We don't have down eras like USC is still trying to climb out of. Ohio State's always good. But what ebbs and flows has been this rivalry, and it's how you're remembered. And I was a part of a team that was struggling. My coach, the coach that recruited me, John Cooper, got fired because of the Ohio State-Michigan game. That's why he was let go. He put dudes in the NFL. He won Rose Bowls, but he had 10 losses against Michigan, and that was unacceptable. So my crowning achievement, the thing that makes me most proud as a football player, it's not getting drafted, it's not NFL success, playoff appearances, it's none of that. It is being a part of the team that put the line in the sand saying no more. I only won 2 games against Michigan, but they were the 2 games that started the 2-decade run of dominance that Ohio State went on. It's the thing that I am most proud of, and that's where you guys sit right now. You get the opportunity to write your chapter in Ohio State history, and it is incredible chapters. The opportunity to be legends forever rests at your feet if you draw that line in the sand and say, no more. I believe that for you, and that when it happens, they're going to rush the field. And don't rush, boys. Don't try to get off the field. Soak it in. Smell the beer on their breath. Let them pound on your shoulder pads. Be a part of the mass of humanity as they rush on that field. I got to do it once in my entire football life, and it's one of the coolest things that you can experience. I cannot wait for it to happen to you. Praying for you boys. Glad to be a part of it.
That was Ben Hartsock.
The greatest rivalry in
Desir
sports,
Posey.
man. You guys are so lucky to be a part of this rivalry, man. Growing up, man, I didn't even get to learn about this game. I was born into it before, I even knew that I wanted to play football. I knew that my uncle played football at Michigan, and I knew that my family always, every Thanksgiving, would talk about this game and who was going to win. And so for most of my life, I was raised on the other side. The sweater vest came down to Cincinnati, Ohio. He recruited me out of there, and it just meant everything for me to come back every Thanksgiving and look across the table and tell my uncle, like, yeah, we bust y'all ass this year. So for me, man, the Michigan-Ohio State game, man, it touches home. Like, it's in your home. It's something that you think about every single day as a Buckeye. What your record is versus Michigan and how you stack up towards that team up north. Going up there, it is not for the faint-hearted. Going into that place, you got to have a different mentality. I just will always talk to my teammates about, listen, we're swinging first. If you look across and you see that guy in his eye at 7 a.m. when I'm warming up on that field, I'm ready to fight. At 3 p.m., I'm ready to fight. It's an all-day thing. So, man, embrace that. Embrace this opportunity to rewrite history. Proud of you guys. I love watching this group of men play and perform. It's an honor to be able to see you guys work every day and see the results y'all put out there each Saturday, man. Go Bucks.
Hi, Buckeye fans. Rex Kern coming to you. Can't wait for the big game. Hope all the Buckeye fans out there listening or watching will be as excited as I am. I waited 365 days. My teammates and I.
That was Rex Kern there, so we had an issue with that. Here's Jamal Lewis.
2000 to 2003.
Jamal
part of
Luke,
the
sorry.
02
Jamal
National
Luke.
Championship
Jamal Luke's different
team.
player.
This game this week is the game of all games. You play football and come to The Ohio State University for two reasons. Number one, to graduate from one of the most prestigious universities in the world. And secondly, you come here to beat that team up north. This game is when legacies are established. This is the game where teams go down in history as one of the greatest in Buckeye football history. You have an opportunity this week to earn it every day. Put all of the hard work from the summer, from the spring to fruition by what you do this week. You will be remembered forever by what your record is against that team up north. That's the power of this game.
Playing in the Ohio
Brian
State
Miller?
Michigan game, it's the best thing that you can possibly imagine from a kid growing up in Detroit, any kid growing up in the Midwest, to be honest with you. You ultimately play this game over and over in your head around Thanksgiving in the backyard, thinking about, what it would be like to play in the big one, in the biggest game in all of sports. And for me, to be able to be a part of that was a dream come true. Obviously, winning a pair of gold pants, I'll never forget Bobby Hoying diving in, knocking out that pylon in Ohio Stadium in 1994. Luke Fickell getting an interception. Those memories last a lifetime, and so do some heartbreaking defeats. So this game, I know it's 60 minutes, but it'll last for 60 years after it's all said and done.
The Ohio State-Michigan game means so much to me. As a kid, with my dad having played at Ohio State during the 10 Years' War, the Michigan game was always a huge thing in our house. And I understood the importance of it from my first memories. And as a kid growing up in the 90s, there were some dark times there where we didn't win as many games as we thought we probably should. And then when Coach Tress got to Ohio State and emphasized the Michigan game so much, understanding that you needed to win the Michigan game in order to win the Big Ten Championship, you needed to win the Michigan game in order to get the national championship, it means everything. Not only that, but it means so much to the state of Ohio. And you can become a legend just by playing in that game. And we had some good ones when I was there. I remember the Gonzo catch. My senior year, we were number 1 versus number 2. You could just feel the enormity of that game. Troy's moments in those games, beautiful thing. And most importantly, what the Michigan game means to me, it's the birth of my son, Declan. He was born on the Michigan game, and it just seems full circle to me. Growing up with it being important, playing in those games, having the opportunity to do it, and then having my son born on that same date, it's a magical thing.
What an honor to be on the Bobby
Yes.
Carpenter, Anthony Schlegel show here on Rivalry Game Week. You know this is the game. So much fun playing in this game, coaching in this game. Even tougher in the big house. You know, we've all been a part of ones. Bobby had that tough injury, and James Laurinaitis came in and filled the bill, and unbelievable days up there. They're hard days. It's always tough to go up there. Our guys, I think, are ready to rock and roll. Not sure they've been as tested, and so I think a good fist fight in the big house is going to be just what the doctor ordered, and we've got to make sure we do all the things that it takes to win in this game. Got to win every play, win every situation, take good care of the football, get some takeaways, but make the big plays when they're needed. It's the best time of year, and I have to throw in a little shot here from my good folks from the Youngstown State Penguins. First round of the playoffs, playing against Yale. First time the Ivy League has ever been in the national playoffs, so it'll be Y against Y. Saturday at noon, same time our Buckeyes are taking on those Wolverines. It's a great day. Go Bucks, go Penguins.
What's up, Bob? You asked the question, what are my favorite moments at Ohio State? And, I think the one that sticks out to me the best is our senior year. We're playing Michigan in Michigan. And just that come from behind victory that, Antonio Pittman, I think he scored with like 24 seconds to go in the game. And, I had a great block on that one. And just, I never felt that kind of joy on the field. You know what I mean? It just really like celebrating that we had done this great thing. It was our senior year, and, we had a great run while we were there. And that game was just so meaningful. And Eddie George being, in the pregame speech, and just being around the legends, man. And, just the people that we're in the room with, man. It's a very small room. And, being with people like Nick Mangold and, Heisman Trophy winner Troy Smith and, Ted and, Brian Hartsock being on that team, AJ, the list just goes on and on. Schlegel, list goes on and on, man. I really couldn't even name everybody. I would need more than 2 minutes, but Santonio Holmes, man, Super Bowl champions, Heisman Trophy winners, just unbelievable mix we had there, man. And we did some really good things while we were in school. And just the one thing I always loved about playing in that game as well is getting the gold pants. And what I would do with my gold pants, I was 3-1, so I had 3 gold pants. I gave them to my mom, my sister, and my grandmother, who were obviously women in my life that had helped me get to where I was at that point. And I gave it to her, and the only reason why I have one now is because my grandmother passed on. And I kept it, and I keep it, and I keep it in my little display case over here, and just get to see it every day, man. There's just so many great memories come up, and I think more importantly, my family being able to share those memories with me, the ride that they had, and being able to see me excel on such a high level, and I thought it was just great, man. It was one of the last times I've ever had just immense joy playing the game. It became a little bit of a job after that, and different things, man. But just being out there with my brothers one more time, in the big game, to put us into a bowl game. I believe that was for the Big Ten championship, and wow, man, we did it, man. So those are memories and stuff nobody can ever take away. They could take everything else, house, cars, money, all that can fleet, but they can't take that memory away from me, man. So, just great, and appreciate you letting me share, and hope you can cut this up because I went a little long. But all right, man, God bless you and the family.
All right, we will play some more if we can later on. But now we hit a break, though, real quick. Thank you to all the people who participated in that. But coming up next, which was Quick Hitter, to hear from Ryan Day. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. I mean, it was, we had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, the knowledge accumulated and shared, with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Together, we will make cures possible for every child everywhere. Learn more at stjude.org.
As we wonder why our kids are struggling, someone is getting bullied. As we discuss how to improve their mental health, someone is being harassed on social media. As we wonder why they're skipping school, someone is crying themselves to sleep. Knowing the signs is the best way to prevent bullying.
Please just leave me alone.
Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here. I'm pregnant. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. We're going to do a single quick hitter.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Bobby, we normally would go through a few stories here with Big Mo, but since we're took a little long on the last one, and really all we do is talk Ohio State, Michigan, I want to hear Ryan Day here. This is what he said about the importance of winning the rushing battle.
Yeah, we got to do what it takes to win the game, and everyone's got to do their job. That's the most important thing. Coaches and players. That's the bottom line. Now, what does that take? It takes a lot of things. We can list all the things, but you probably heard me say those, what it takes to win these games over and over again, so I'm a broken record. But if we win the turnover battle, our chances increase of winning the game. If we win the X-plays, our chance, you start going through all the different things, and there's a lot that goes into it. But at the end of the day, the number one goal is to win the game.
Bob, it is, look, people still go back to last year, think Ohio State played too conservatively, called too conservative a game. And I think post-game, I think after the game, if I remember correctly, Day kind of alluded to the fact that, they probably tried too hard to force the running game into working. And I'm curious, do you think he'll go the other way this year and, to go like opposite and go more aggressive, like a hell of a lot more aggressive than last year? Will he still keep it somewhere in the middle?
Well, I think it just depends on kind of what's being given, what's out there. Winning the rushing battle, it's an interesting stat because I've talked to a lot of people about it, and it's something I think the last 25 years or so, maybe even longer than that, the team that's won the rushing battle has won the game. Yep. And I go, that stat can manifest itself, though, in a couple different ways. Everybody thinks you got to go out there and just, run the ball 40 times. Like, you can get a lead and then be able to run the football and drive the other team out of running the football because they get in the chase game. So, being aggressive maybe early on, putting the ball in the air, getting some touchdowns, then leaning into the run game and forcing Michigan to then start throwing. That's also a way to do it. So it's not just coming out there and being able to, line up and pound the ball 40, 45 times in the game. I think Ryan, he's talked about this. Like, they're going to do what they need to do to win, however that looks. And I don't think he wants to pin himself into anything at this point as to how he's going to call it or how they're going to play it.
Play one more quick one here. Ryan Day talking about playing in bad weather, which is a possibility come tomorrow.
The good thing is we've had that weather the last couple of weeks, and so it doesn't affect us at all. It's the same for both teams, and that's what you expect this time of year in Big Ten football. Actually expected a little bit more weather here in November. But this is a group of guys that has played this type of weather before. That's just a distraction. The focus has to be on doing our job.
And that'll be interesting to me. If there is a lot of wind or some snow up there, I want to see how this offense reacts. Julian Sands giving me no reason to think he can't play in those conditions. I haven't seen him play in the snow, obviously, but in the cold and the rain, and how much that will affect things for Ohio State. I would think that a bad weather game gives Michigan, I don't say an advantage, but gives them a better chance. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, they're not a team that obviously throws the ball or is a high-flying offense. So anytime you're going to be able to get a chance to slow it down, and my dad would always tell me this, weather's the great equalizer in football. And that's the reason, basketball and, baseball and some other sports where, weather doesn't play into it. Like football, you can be the fastest team, the most explosive team out there, but all of a sudden you get wind and rain and snow, and you look at, Iowa when they played Oregon at home, and then they went to USC, and if you can't stretch the field, all that speed doesn't necessarily help as much. Now, with that being said, it's going to be in the high 20s, low 30s. It's not going to be overly windy. At least that's not what's projected. And there might be a little bit of snow, but it's not like it's going to be 40 with a driving rainstorm and, a 20-mile-an-hour wind. So I don't think weather will have a big impact on the game based upon what we're seeing thus far.
Yeah, I'm seeing around 29 degrees at kickoff with a wind chill of 21. And really not big chance snow till the 3 o'clock hour when it will start to have a chance there at that point. But so they should be able to avoid all of that. Other than that, no precipitation. You're right. It's all going to be looking at the wind and whatnot and what that will do there. Coming up next, top of the hour, we will bring on Albert Breer from MMQB, talk about all things NFL, and the fact his alma mater's got a big game tomorrow. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've hit your medical deductible, now's the time to see Dr. Mark Levy. Get a custom oral appliance that stops snoring and helps you ditch that CPAP and pay less out of pocket. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com before the year ends.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In football, a quarterback needs protection, time in the pocket to make the big play. In business, your pocket is your cash flow. Without the right protection, pressure can come fast. A great banking partner is like your O-line, pancaking your problems to keep you marching down the field. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses protect the pocket.
Thanks, Bobby. At Riverside Bank, we help you guard what matters most with cash management, flexible credit solutions, and fraud protection that keeps your business upright and moving forward.
That's right, Chuck. Because whether you're running a small shop or leading a regional enterprise, protecting your pocket is how you stay in the game. Come see us at Riverside Bank, and we'll help you play to win. Look for our new branch location at Bridge Park in 2026.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Teachers are dynamic leaders.
shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't let your insurance benefits go to waste. End the year sleeping better with Dr. Mark Levy's oral appliance. No mask, no noise, just results. Hurry, deductibles reset soon. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com today.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Now we're joined by Albert Breer from MMQB. We'll get Bobby back on here short. I think we're having an issue. So anyway, we'll get Bobby on here. Good morning, Albert. Thanks for getting up early this morning with us. And I'm curious, Thanksgiving Day, how much are you watching football versus spending time with the family?
I mean, I'm watching football the whole time because it's my job, and I probably would be anyway, but it's a good excuse.
Right.
So nobody can say anything to me about it. But I like every year, so my wife's a nurse, so she works Thanksgiving every year. She works at Boston Children's, and so that's so she doesn't have to work on Christmas. And so like basically I'll smoke a turkey here on Wednesday. We will do us and the kids on Wednesday, and then generally my wife will be away for work, so we'll go to the high school football game here, which I don't know if you guys know the way it works in the Northeast, but we still have Thanksgiving Day high school football here. So go to the high school game at 10 a.m., get in the car, drive the hour to my parents' house. And then being there helps me manage all of it, like so I can actually pay attention to the games, and the kids are occupied. And like yesterday, actually, my wife got canceled because they were overstaffed, and so she was able to come with us for the first time in forever. So it was a good day.
That's cool. What surprised you more yesterday, Dallas beating Kansas City or Cincinnati beating Baltimore?
See, I thought Cincinnati was really close to being a pretty good team for a while. So, like, I didn't go into that game thinking like Baltimore had it in the bag. Baltimore has struggled offensively. Their defense has played really well. And I just got this feeling that Burrow was going to put them over the top. And I don't know. Kansas City is just, I have a hard time just giving up on them completely. And Dallas has played really well too. So I wasn't really surprised by either result. Because I think this is over the last month has been a very different Dallas team. And I think Cincinnati's sort of been on the come too. If you had put a gun to my head, I'd say I probably maybe was a little bit more surprised by Dallas. But, like I said, I wasn't really surprised by either result.
We've got a lot of quarterbacks dealing with injuries right now that were, Daniel Jones with the injury to his leg, he's going to try to play through. You've got Jackson Dart trying to get back to the concussion protocol, getting off the protocol now and trying to get back into the game as well to get going there. The Daniel Jones thing, though, is fascinating to me because Richardson's still the backup there, right? If Jones can't go, it's Anthony Richardson, right?
Yeah, and obviously there's like the question about like what level of confidence they have in Anthony Richardson. They've really built the offense for Daniel Jones now, which looks significantly different than if it were Anthony Richardson in there. And really they feel like they have unlocked a lot of things with their skill position guys as a result of DJ being in there. It's sort of helped that group of Pierce and Downs and obviously Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor and now Tyler Warren as a rookie. It's allowed them to reach a different level. And so, I like every indication I've gotten is that DJ is going to fight through it. And, we'll see what that looks like on Sunday. But certainly I don't think like anybody would ever question Daniel Jones's toughness. You see some of the stuff that he was able to play through in New York, and it's not surprising that he's playing through things now.
Albert Breer joins us here from MMQB, and we've got the Black Friday game today, Chicago and Philadelphia. The Bears obviously have a great record there, leading the NFC North, and I wonder if you think that they're fraudulent or they're for real.
I look at them as a little bit like they're like, I think like New England in the AFC, where they've gotten a lot better, but they have been aided to some degree by their schedule. And so, like a game like today, I think is a real measuring stick for a team like that, going up against Super Bowl champions and a Super Bowl champion that's wounded right now and coming off of, a really tough loss where they blew a 21-point lead in Dallas. So, like, I think today's going to be fascinating from that standpoint, but I don't think any of it is like phony, if that's what you're asking. Like they have gotten much better play along the lines of scrimmage. Certainly Dennis Allen has that defense playing at a different level than it was. And, adding, a real vet like Grady Jarrett has really helped. Then offensively, they completely turned over the interior of their offensive line. And so bringing in Joe Thuney and Drew Dahlman and Jonah Jackson has made that offense just look and operate completely different than it has in the past. And, I think in particular, having a pro like Joe Thuney in there who, has been part of so many championship teams and has an idea what it takes, I think has settled down what was like a long-term issue for them. That offensive line has been a problem for them really since the general manager Ryan Poles got there in 2022. And so like I think it's just a matter of like really prioritizing what's important. For Ben Johnson, that's always been the lines of scrimmage, and that's the way those teams in Detroit were always built, that he was a part of. And so I don't think it's like phony or fake. I think the improvement's very real, and I think it's founded in those areas. But, has the record been aided a little bit by the schedule? I think it's fair to say that.
Albert Breer joins us here from MMQB. And Albert, if you look at the standings today, I know there's still a lot of football left, but right now the Bills would be sneaking in as a 7 seed in the AFC. The Chiefs and Ravens would both be out of the playoffs. The Lions would be out of the playoffs in the NFC. Those are all teams that people talked about as Super Bowl contenders when the season started. Is there a common thread among those teams as to why they are underperforming this year? Or is it, I'm sure, there's some aspects of each one, but I'm curious why you think that is.
Well, I don't know if there's a common thread. Like Lions, you can look at the attrition, right? So they're going to get Frank Ragnow back now, which is interesting. But losing Ragnow on that offensive line, losing Kevin Zeitler on the offensive line, so much of their identity ran through that group. So not having that strength in the offensive line, I think has sort of changed the face of their team. They lose the 2 coordinators. That's a big deal. With the Ravens, I think it's just injury, Lamar Jackson was out for that period of time. They fall to 1-5. They've won 5 straight since, but I'm not sure Lamar has quite the juice that he's had in the past, and maybe that's injury related. But there's been some inconsistency there. You wonder if the injury messed with his mechanics a little bit. So I think that's like where you pin that. And then, I think the Chiefs look a little bit like a tired team to me. They've played 19 playoff games in the last 6 years. That's an NFL record. They've been in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. You just wonder how much of of the accumulation of damage that they've taken on is hitting them now. Like part of it too, of course, is injury and some moving parts on their offense, right? Like, so, they didn't have Rashee Rice for the first 6 games. Hollywood Brown was dinged up. Xavier Worthy was dinged up. They've had injuries in the backfield. Josh Simmons was out for a few games, and now he's hurt again. So, the Chiefs, you have all these different moving parts. And then Buffalo, to me, like Buffalo's the one that really could put their foot on the gas and go. They've had injuries too, losing Dalton Kincaid and Ed Oliver, but they're the one where it's like there are a lot of young guys on their team that have gotten paid now, and like I'm not sure they've gotten the return on that investment quite yet. So maybe that winds up coming, but I don't think there's any one common thread between those 4 teams.
Speaking of young guys getting paid, George Pickens picked a hell of a time to have his best season, contract year for him, and the Cowboys could always franchise tag him or try to sign to a long-term deal. I wonder if they will be cautious in signing him to a long-term deal just because I want to see them how he does in another season, because he's been off the charts this season. By the way, that kind of skill set would have really helped out Pittsburgh this year. So looking at that, though, do you think they're more likely to franchise him or get a long-term deal signed?
I think like your baseline is you franchise him and maybe you work on a deal from there. I just be careful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, like this guy has a lot of history of going the wrong way. It happened at Georgia, and that was part of the reason why he fell to the second round. Mm-hmm. And then, as a pro, I think we've seen all the issues he had in Pittsburgh, which like generally like that, the environment that Mike Tomlin's built, he's been able to manage guys who have egos, guys with different personalities, and it didn't work there. So can a guy get motivated and straighten up for 6 months to get life-changing money? That happens sometimes, So if I were them, I would be careful. I would probably franchise him. Yeah. And then I would try to work out a deal that has escape hatches in it that rewards him, but doesn't put me in an impossible situation. And then you see how badly he wants to stay in Dallas, So I think that's all part of it. I think one thing that's a nuance to all of this too is his agent is David Mulugheta, who happens to be the agent for Micah Parsons. And I don't think that that's a non-factor here. Everything that the Cowboys went through with Parsons, you wonder how much of that affects what's going on now. I don't think it will on Mulugheta's end because he's a pro. I do wonder if the Cowboys have any lingering feelings over the way that agency handled the Parsons situation, though.
We had Shedeur Sanders get the win in Las Vegas against the Raiders last week, and he's starting again this week, and he's hosting the 49ers. How much different will it be for him going from facing the Raiders to the 49ers?
I mean, a lot different. Like the Raiders are deficient in a lot of different ways right now. And they're just, glaring holes on their roster. And you look up and down. I mean, they've got some frontline players like your Max Crosby, your Brock Bowers, where you're hoping that Ashton Genty can become. But there are just gaping holes on that roster. And so I think almost like a good offensive coach is going to be able to take advantage of those. The Browns were able to take advantage of those. The Niners have had injuries. So the Niners that defense is without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner. But there's a lot of good young talent on that defense, and so this is definitely a step up. And you're talking about a team that, in the Niners that's capable of putting you in a hole and making you play from behind. So this is going to be a very different challenge for Shedeur and the Browns.
It's a Thanksgiving miracle. We got Bobby back here now. Bob, you hearing us okay and everything?
Yeah, I got you guys. I've been listening to Albert there, cruise through that. And, I know you're sitting there talking a little bit about, Oakland, obviously, and with the Chip Kelly situation there, Breer. I mean, I don't think anybody anticipated Vegas now being a playoff caliber team this year. I know they've had a lot of injuries on the offensive side. is perplexing to me because I don't think watching their games that there was any offensive malpractice. And then they talked about where, Chip was miscalling in the plays when you call him off of a sheet. Like there was a lot of things that, didn't really make sense about everything that we've kind of heard and transpired from what came out of there with the Chip Kelly firing.
Yeah, I don't know about like the missed calls and that. What I would say, Bobby, is there's like a lot of frustration internally over a lot of different things, and I think that was born of a staff that I think had a very short-term focus and thought that they were going to be able to get this turned around quicker than has actually happened. And I think the result of that, or that's a result of some of the push and pull within the organization. They obviously bring in a lot of new people, and Tom Brady has got a heavy hand in what they're doing and how they've built out their football operation. And I would say on the front office side, there's a little bit more of a feeling of, we need to take a long-term focus here. We're far away. Like, this is not a one-off season rebuild. This is going to take time. And then you have a 74-year-old head coach who, Pete Carroll, is one of the greatest coaches of all time, one of the greatest football coaches ever to walk the planet. I think he's one of 3 to win a Super Bowl and a national title in college. And, I do think that there is some tension in that organization internally, and some of that may have spilled onto the coaching staff, where it's like, this is a situation that demands a long-term focus and big picture thinking. And, now we're bringing in, a group of new people, a group of new coaches that are very focused on the here and the now. And so how that's all kind of come together with people who haven't worked together, I think that's where you have your issue, so it's, like you have GM and head coach who are new to each other. You've got a head coach and coordinators who are new to each other. It's not just Chip. Patrick Graham was also inherited by Pete Carroll. So I think the mix has sort of been the problem. And now, we'll see what happens. Like, Greg Olsen has got a lot of experience, been in the NFL forever. That's not the tight end, Greg Olsen, for people who are wondering. That's the offensive coordinator, Greg Olsen. And we'll see how that works. But I don't know that what happened was all on Chip. Like, I think there were some things where maybe philosophically there wasn't a match, and that was probably a bigger reason why all this happened.
Yeah, when I first heard Greg Olsen, I thought he was doing a Patriots experience. They put a defensive guy or an offensive guy in charge of the defense. So when we'll get you out here on this one, Albert. How will you consume the game tomorrow?
Oh, I can't believe it's tomorrow. You said tomorrow. I'm like, oh, wait, what's tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow. Holy crap. I will. So this is going to be the first time in forever that I'm actually going to be just watching it at home, which the last time I watched it at home would have been, hold on. So I've gone to my buddy who was actually one of my fraternity brothers from Ohio State. He played basketball. He played hoops at Ohio State during like our era there, which was like the Michael Redd, Sean Connolly era. Jim O'Brien is the head coach. So I'd gone to his house in 21 and 23. I went to the game in 22 and 24. He is in Florida now for the holidays, so I can't watch it with him. So the last time in 19, I watched it at his house also. So this will be the first time this may be the first time I actually watched it at his house in 18 too. So this is the first time I've watched it at home since 17, which was when we wore the weird gray uniforms. And I think it was JK had a big game in that game. Is that right? Was that as a freshman, JK and Weber rushed for like 1 million yards?
I think so. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was deathly hungover because I went out with my high school friends the night before. So I'll be in better shape this time around, and hopefully the Buckeyes will have as much success as they had that day. I need them to win so bad, guys. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be real with you guys. I just need them to win so bad. Like, I just can't. I, as Bobby knows, I've got a lot of Michigan people in my life, and I cannot deal with this anymore. So I really, really, really hope we get it done. It'd be nice if it was by 50, but I'll take a win by 1 if that's what it is.
Whenever you're on the DP show, I got to make sure I ask a question that Dan Patrick wouldn't ask you. So I want to make sure I accomplish that by asking you how you're consuming the game. Appreciate it, Albert.
What do you guys think is going to happen?
Oh,
or am I stealing the end of the show?
No, you're not at all. No, not at all. Bob, you want to go first?
Oh goodness, Albert! After the last 4 years, I've long since given up trying to predict all of this. Looking at it analytically of what should happen, and I think you're going to at least get one of the wide receivers back, maybe if not both. I think Ryan will be more aggressive defensively. I can't imagine Michigan scoring more than 2 touchdowns. So it's literally, can you score 17 points? I think that ultimately wins it. Now, you said if you can win the game 49-3, you feel a lot better about it. But I can't envision a situation where Michigan gets in the end zone more than once. I think 13 is probably the cap for them. So they'll find a way to run the ball. Weather should be pretty good. It'll be cold, but I think that's going to be about it. So they should be all right.
I look at it, Albert, like it's a I will sign up for having the best defensive coordinator and the best defense in the country going against a freshman quarterback in a big game. I will take the Patricia and Ohio State defense side on that all day long versus a freshman quarterback being in there under center for Michigan.
Well, I'll tell you this. I remember last year being in the parking lot, and my buddy Seiko's tailgate, and his family's got a tailgate right by the North Rotunda, and so I remember saying to my buddy Gillen, I was out front, and I was like, I moved heaven and earth to get to the game and everything else. I flew in that morning, and I was shot out of cannon. I was probably already 7 beers deep at 10 a.m. And so I remember saying to him, I'm like, a lot of people come to these games wanting a classic. I'm like, F that. I want this to be a party in that stadium for the second half. And so I've learned my lesson, hoping for blowouts or whatever. I just want the win. So I don't know how it'll come, but I'm with you, Bobby. I think I've seen Matt Patricia put young quarterbacks in a blender before. You know what I mean? I covered Matt for a lot of years in covering the NFL and obviously here in New England. And I've seen what they've been able to do to younger or more inexperienced quarterbacks. So I'm really interested to see what that part of the game looks like tomorrow. And hopefully that winds up being the difference. I think there's a good chance it could be.
Albert, appreciate the time. Thank you so much, brother. And let's get a win this week, and we'll talk again next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Go Bucks. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there in Columbus, too.
Thank you very much. That was Albert Breer joining us from MMQB. Coming up next, Bobby and I and Big Mo will tell you what's got us juice. Morning Juice.
Around Children International.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Bobby and Tito, Big Mo. Why do I have a feeling, Bobby, that our theme on this is going to be the game? But let's tell people what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, General, do your thing.
Oh, goodness, what's got me juiced? Yesterday, getting a chance to be down here and Portsmouth, seeing everybody on Thanksgiving, seeing my wife's family. It was a lot of fun. Her cousins came in from Dallas, so they were pumped to watch the Cowboys get a victory. A lot of great football on yesterday if you're a Bengals fan. I don't know if you're feeling good or bad, knowing that that's what the season probably could have looked a whole lot like had you had Joe Burrow for the majority of the games. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and we'll see if they can dig themselves out of a hole. I know Bodie's pumped up because the Cowboys, they traded Micah Parsons, things look grim, and now with Quinnen Williams, that defensive line looks absolutely tremendous up front. And their ability to score the football on offense was never the problem. And you put those two things together, and they're looking pretty darn good. And then getting a chance to listen to some of my former teammates, friends of mine, coaches talking about the game and the things that we put together has been absolutely tremendous. I know a lot of people are going to be nervous over the next, 36 hours, and I get that. I understand that. But I've got a lot of confidence in Ryan Day. I've got a lot of confidence in Matt Patricia, Brian Hartline, and what those guys are going to be able to do, and really the players. And it's been a while since we've won one. And, being 42 now, going back to when I was 11 and 12 years old, and, some of those Saturdays, what they were like in the 90s and growing up here was pretty tough. But it seems like, Ryan, there's a pep in his step. There's some excitement. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to watch the game tomorrow. If I'm whether going to watch it from my house, if we get back home. I'm heading to my parents today after this and excited to go there and get a chance to sit there and watch some football with my brothers and my dad and have some conversations with them and everything that's going on. So should be a lot of fun. And my brother Nate is in from Grand Rapids, so I don't get to see all that often. And so I may just want to hang out and watch the game with them because I enjoy their comments on it and their football critiques. It's like watching, in the ESPN do the coaches booth. So I get to watch it with three other guys that played college football and their unique perspectives on everything that's going on and what they should be doing. So all that has me juiced today. And getting up nice and early on a Black Friday as well. Mo, what's Schleig's got to say?
Dad, but you guys know Wendy's got Frosties for $1? I used to pound Frosties. Right now, if you gave me a Frosty, I would pound that thing. I would eat the crap out of that deal. But I haven't had a Frosty in a hot minute.
How do you follow that?
I know. I'm with you, yeah.
What's got me juiced, other than the fact that we were able to get Bobby back on, that's got me juiced because this has been all kinds of fun. I think Bodie did something to just mess with me.
I think he did too, yeah. It's job security.
Yeah.
Because you can do great, no mistakes. All of a sudden, Bodie's on the hot seat.
That's okay. I can deal with it. What's got me juiced, obviously, like you said, Tito, is going to be a theme, the game. But what's got me juiced about it, I have been one of those, I try to be very real about everything when it comes to, just about everything. And the real thing with this game the past 4 years is Michigan has owned it. Mm-hmm. So I don't talk a lot of smack, and I've said to a lot of people, I have some friends that are fans of that team, until we win, it's just, it's not, I'm not going to say much of anything. But you know what? It's the day before the game. I'm feeling good about it, and I'm just going to say that there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to go up there and just own this team. Is it going to be a blowout? I don't know that it'll be a blowout. It's always going to be a competitive game. But today, this week, everything has just reminded me just how much I can't stand that team.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that team. They just look ugly. The stadium itself, if you've ever been there, and I've only been there a couple times, I was down on the field once, it is a huge toilet bowl that just has a bunch of seats in it. There's nothing magnificent about it. We drove into Ann Arbor, and nobody seemed to be excited about the game. And you know how it is when you drive on campus here. You could be playing the Sisters of the Poor, and everybody's out. They're tailgating. They're getting excited. I didn't see any excitement in Ann Arbor. I went to a steakhouse the night before the last one I went to up there, wearing all my Ohio State stuff, and nobody said anything. That wouldn't happen in Columbus.
No, it wouldn't happen. No, you're right.
You wouldn't be able to sit down if you came in with maize and blue. And what is maize and blue? Give me a break. That's the yellow streak down the middle of the helmet goes all the way down their backs. So sick of this team. I'm sick of everything about them. We're going to own them. Go Bucks.
There we go. Bob, when you watch the Ohio State-Michigan game like you're talking about watching it this weekend, I have a feeling, but let me ask you this. I'm sure you're a good brother to watch it with. I'm sure you're a good son to watch it with. Are you a good father to watch it with? Because I know I get impatient sometimes when I'm watching the game, and if Artie's asking a bunch of questions, I love Artie to death, but if like in a critical moment of the game, if he asks me a question about something, I'm like, hey, just wait. Well, I should have more patience. Are you impatient with your kids during the game?
No, I'm fine with them. I'm really not a good friend to watch it with. If you're not and I use this term not to be derogatory, but if you're not a football person, like if you didn't play and understand some things, I can't like people that are just love Ohio State and love Ohio State football. Like that's great, but I can't ride the emotional train with you up and down the roller coaster all game long.
Yeah,
and just we're the best, we're the worst. Like I look, okay, that didn't work. Okay, here's why it didn't work. It's okay, not. Well, we didn't get any yards there. That's a terrible call. Ryan's an idiot. Or what are we doing on defense? Why can't we do this? Like, I can't just listen to irrational comments.
Right.
I have to leave because I just I'll yell at you. It's like, just sit there and be quiet. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like it's tough. It's been tough. The last couple of years when we've been losing, and whether, it was a situation like that, in some of the bowl games and different things, and we're going to get beat and this and that, and look at what they did. It's nauseating to me, and I can't deal with it. So I'm a fine dad, but a terrible friend.
There we go.
If you're not going to make like astute ball comments, if you will.
One of the reasons I feel better, not that I didn't feel good about the game already, because I do feel very confident in the game this week, Ohio State getting the win. But last night at Thanksgiving at our friend's house, I mentioned the guy before, obnoxious Michigan fan, Dave, who's the brother of the host. And so talking to him, and normally it's unbearable to bring up this game with him because he is obnoxious Michigan fan. Like, he thinks that the last 4 years when history started, that's what it was. It wasn't, and Ryan Day can't beat Michigan anymore, that kind of thing. So like usually he's usually like kind of really off the charts obnoxious, but the fact he was so subdued last night, I don't know if it was alcohol or drugs or just getting smart, but he was more respectful of Ohio State than I've ever heard him be, and more down on the chances of Michigan winning the game than I've ever heard him be. And so that part made me happy last night. I was glad to hear Albert Breer talk about, Breer, he let his hair down on that one, tell us about some of the things he does to get ready for the game, and the 7 beers deep at 10 a.m., which I love hearing. But hearing his passion for the game also got me excited. But this game for me, Bob, and you hear from Big Mo's voice as well, you're going to have a different perspective than we are, just because you've actually played in the game. But it's something that this rivalry was passed on from generation to generation. Like I didn't have a choice but to be an Ohio State fan. I was indoctrinated into it. When I was 6 years old, the first Beat Michigan party I went to with my parents. And when I saw how important it was to them back in 1977, that stuck with me. And it's carried on with me. And it'll carry on with my son as well. But just having that that part of relationship with my dad to talk about the game. Because no matter what, when my dad and I don't get along or didn't get along, I had issues, we always could talk about Ohio State, Michigan. You know what I mean? Like, we always are able to do that. We have a common thread there, and it's a magical day for me. I will not be able to sleep tonight. I bet I go to bed 1 a.m. and I'll be up at 6 and I'll be raring to go on Michigan on the day of the game. I typically will play the fight song really loud in the speakers and wake up the kids and Heather, which I'm sure they all appreciate when I do it very early in the morning. But another thing I appreciate, too, is the fact that my wife is an Ohio State football fan and a pretty smart one, too. Makes it much easier to watch the game with her. Now, the one problem is she's also fiery. And so when things go south, it's kids learn new words. Sometimes I learn a new word, too, if things start to go south at all. But there's nothing quite like this. It's the greatest thing. It's the most beautiful thing in sports for me is this rivalry, Bob. There's nothing in sports. Look, Super Bowls are fun to watch and, fun to be a part of, all that. National championship games are great. Playoff games, awesome. But there's nothing in sports for me, Bob, that compares to Ohio State, Michigan. Is there anything for you?
Compares to it. It's not when you're watching games. Getting a chance to watch them, have a chance to win a national championship last year against Notre Dame. It was big. I looked at some of the big games that they played, but on a yearly basis, this is it. And it's the tradition, the pageantry, everything that comes with all of it. And I'm really excited, hope to watch this group of men get a win. It's been a long time for them, having won that game, having lost that game, knowing what the emotional toll that it takes on you. And honestly, just how tough it is on your legacy if you don't have success in this. And, knowing guys that played on those teams in the mid-90s now that were so good, guys that I looked up to, teams that were tremendous, that had athletes all over the field and NFL players and everything else, and won so many games, but just struggled to be able to get victories, and how they wear that. And the class last year, there was seniors that won a national championship, but still over their 4-year tenure never beat Michigan, and having to wear that, not just for that year, but wear that for the rest of your life, and how that impacts you and your legacy and what people think about you. It's really hard. It's really hard. And so, yeah, it's big and it's huge. I'm excited, for those guys, hopefully, to be able to get a pair of gold pants, to be able to come back and to know that feeling and excitement of when you get a win in this game, and how absolutely tremendous it feels, and how it can honestly change your life.
I really want this for Ryan Day. I really want this for Ryan Day. Getting the victory and so just to shut people up again.
That's a huge piece of it, just so he can walk out of there. And everybody last year, if I had to see another meme next week of the Scooby-Doo pulling the mask off and having him be John Cooper underneath, I'm like, dude, I'm done with that. I'm done. Ryan Day's a hell of a football coach, and they're going to be prepared to go. There seems to be with him a quiet confidence this week, and a return to normalcy for him of how he coaches and how he operates, which I think he maybe had gotten away from, but his desire to win this game, kind of maybe overtook some of his better judgment of kind of him just coaching the way that he always does. And so winning a national championship last year, I think there is a liberation to that maybe, and he seems like the guy that he is now the other 51 weeks a year.
Can you confirm or deny that he did pack, indeed, a Ric Flair robe?
I don't think he brought the Ric Flair robe, Thitoff, unfortunately.
That'd be great TV. See him put that on after the win, walk around that stadium like that. That'd be awesome, Bob. We got to work with you need to work with Ryan on that. Coming up next, we will finish out the week the best way in the world. AJ Hawk joins us. Morning Juice.
Hey, that chronic pain, your knees, hip, back, shoulders, whatever joint it might be, it can make
life feel impossible. But at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough treatment that's giving patients relief, some cases even within 1 day. It's called stem wave therapy. This device has been used for over 20 years in Europe, and it's made its way to the United States. And there's a groundswell of demand for the treatments because the patients are getting real relief from acute pain, and they're spreading the word. Here is the most interesting detail. The device is both a diagnostic and therapeutic, helping Dr. Ray Tesner and the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and then trigger your body's own natural healing response. StemWave uses the same technology as lithotripsy, the sound waves that penetrate, spark blood flow, and more cellular activity. That's exactly what you need to promote healing and relief. Wondering if this is a good solution for you or your pain? QC Kinetics is making it easy. Your first treatment is only $49. So call for a consultation and ask about the $49 treatment right here at 380-208-4544.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, Big Mo, this guy.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
There he is, A.J. Hawk, joining us right now on Morning Juice. A.J., does the phone number 614-488-1910 mean anything to you?
I would assume, is that Woody's old number?
That's Woody's old number. Yes, that's the one. Call it and get the Woody Hayes pep talk. I'm glad you knew what it was. Bobby, were you aware of that one also?
When I saw that go in the chat, I thought that there was a case that was what it is. I've heard stuff floating around social media, people calling in, listen to Woody give the speech and get everybody fired up. So, yeah, I figured that's what it was.
Thanksgiving good for you there, AJ?
Yeah, it was great. We had a bunch of people over, both sides of the family and kids and everyone, and yeah, it went off well, man. It was a good day.
What was there any eventful moments, any great conversations that transpired yesterday?
Man, I can't pinpoint one thing. We didn't have any big dramatic situations or no one getting in big arguments or anything like that, which normally doesn't happen anyway, but you hear about it happening all the time on Thanksgiving. But we had, it's funny, the range of ages, we had as young as, 10 months, 11 months, up to, almost 90 of ages of people that were here, counting the kids and grandparents and everyone. So, nothing real serious. We had some good basketball games in our garage go on, some knockout between adults and kids and just kids. And yeah, we had some good healthy competition though during, in between watching the games and eating food.
I don't have any idea what the schedules were like, how they line up, but was Brady there?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's headed to Ann Arbor today because they're going down they're going over for the game. But yeah, he was there. His kids, everyone. Yeah, the whole situation, everybody.
How competitive does it get with you and Brady in a knockout game? Like, are you trying to knock the ball out of his hands sometimes, or adjust his shot? Like, how important is it to you to best Brady in any kind of competition?
Well, I mean, anytime anyone's doing something, they're trying to win. Like, no matter who you are, I think. But we don't really. I don't sit there and try to knock his rebound halfway across the yard or things like that. But yesterday he didn't really play. Brady's got 5 kids and he's got very young kids as well. So you got a couple kids. His 2 youngest are like 11 months and like 2.5 barely. So he's usually carrying one of them around, changing diapers, and one of them are taking care of them. So he didn't get in the knockout game yesterday. We played a little bit later in the day, But after I smoked a turkey on this Traeger grill I do it once a year. Last time I turned that grill on was last Thanksgiving, and it actually turned out great. Actually, I made some sriracha honey turkey thing that I found a little bit and kind of just found a couple things on the internet on what to do with it, and it turned out great, surprisingly.
So you just were winging it, no walkthrough, going to try a new turkey recipe on Thanksgiving, like without any fear of failure age. I mean, you didn't think that was a little risky at all?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not the primary, since we have like 50 people, so we have to have more than one turkey. So bought a big 30-pounder that Laura made in the oven, and then I had like this 16, 17-pounder that I put in the smoker. But yeah, there's definitely some fear of failure there. But I kind of Googled a few like smoked turkey recipes, and then I kind of remember them and injected it a few times with try to make it spicy, a little hot, and then they tell me, hey, when it's 165 degrees internal temperature, take that thing off the smoker. So I can figure that out. I'm not smart, but I can at least figure that out.
If you come to a fork in the road, ask AJ, he'll help you know. Helmet shining, number 47 bold, he'll point you right where you should go. Just ask AJ.
Little Italy wants to know your favorite Thanksgiving side dish. It could be the one that was the best yesterday or one that you like all the time.
Oh, man, I'd have to say stuffing and corn are my 2 favorite. Both those together, even mix them in together a little bit, and I'm all for it. So, yeah, I had a bunch of it yesterday.
Are you a gravy guy, AJ?
Not really. I mean, I'm not against it, really, but I don't really – mashed potatoes aren't really my thing. I mean, I'll eat them every once in a while, I guess. I didn't even have any yesterday. My mom brought 2 big crock pots. Hopefully she doesn't hear this. I don't know. It wasn't because they weren't good. I think people finished them pretty quickly. But, no, I'm not much of a gravy guy.
Do you have any desire in giving out your home phone number, your cell phone number, and recording some kind of motivational message for Ohio State?
No, I don't think so right now. I mean, I don't know if no one could match the voicemail that Woody has for you. So, no, I don't want to do that. But also, good luck. You better get a new number, too.
Could you sleep the night before the game?
Yeah, I didn't sleep a ton the night before a game. I'd be up watching TV for a while. But I could definitely sleep on the bus ride to games, on away games especially. I was always hoping for like a 45-minute bus ride from the hotel because I'm like a little baby. I get on a bus and that motion and the movement just put me right to sleep.
How are you going to be consuming the game? Well, first of all, what time do you guys eat, and how do you kind of work that around, with the games? Like, you obviously the Packers were playing yesterday. Your kids Packers fans? Like, are they all into that?
Yeah, we watched. So we didn't have people came over about 2:30 or 3. We didn't eat till about 3:30. That was by design. So we watched most of the Packers game before everyone got here. My kids, they're Packers fans. They enjoy it, but they're also they're Steelers fans because they like watching Aaron Rodgers play, obviously. They like a lot of individual players. My youngest likes the Falcons with Bijan Robinson because I was technically on the Atlanta Falcons for a month, and he was in my wife's stomach. He was in her stomach when we were in Atlanta, so he thinks he's a Falcons baby. So that's kind of how it works.
Wait, did you conceive him in Atlanta?
No, but she was pregnant when I was there, and they came to a game once with all 3 of the kids, and then he was in her belly. So he takes pride in that. I go, oh no, I'm a Falcons baby. Yeah, they're like, they tell him, hey X, not only were you not born yet, but Dad was not even really on the Falcons. It was a month, and he wasn't like so. Yeah, but he doesn't care. He loves Bijan.
Got a little double banger here.
If you come to a fork in the road, ask AJ, he'll help you know. Helmet shining, number 47 bold, he'll point you right where you should go. Just ask AJ.
Magacorn Popcorn wants to know, and Bob, you can answer this as well. Do players really like to play on Thanksgiving Day? They say it's an honor. Do you feel that way?
I don't know how Bob felt, but I absolutely did. I was lucky though, being in Green Bay, we would go to Detroit and play, and then it would be like a noon Eastern kick, so 11 Central. I would be home by like 4 o'clock, and we would have half the Packers team over, and Laura would be hosting Thanksgiving. So we loved it. We could still celebrate Thanksgiving and get and then have a couple of days off after that.
All right, Bobby, for you.
It was. Well, yeah, because that was the only Thursday game for a long time. Now everybody plays every week on Thursday. And so it was tough. Like that week is hard physically on your body. But in Detroit, like AJ said, it was great. You play the early game. You can be home eating at 4:35 and like people are hanging out. Dallas is a little tougher because I remember Courtney trying, this was before they had Bluetooth and like internet and all the stuff on your phone where you could like run a Traeger. Like AJ was probably out, mowing the grass and running around, running his Traeger off of his phone. But, my wife had tried to like cook enough before so you would get back, because when you play at 3:30 and Dallas wasn't as bad, you're on Central Time, so it was an hour earlier, but still like you're trying to get back and be able to eat by like 8 o'clock at night. And that's tough. And so it is an honor. It's a lot of fun. It gives you the weekend afterwards. But, yeah, it can be a little bit bumpy to try to manage all that. But that everybody's going to be watching your game across the entire country. So that's obviously something that's pretty cool. Speaking of the game, AJ, game is tomorrow. How do you guys consume that? Are we getting everybody together? You guys all watching it? I mean, will Chopper be there? Like, what is that like with all the kids and where are you going?
I don't know. We're not sure exactly. We're going to watch it at home for sure. But my daughter's talking about having like a watch party with a bunch of her friends over. So we're still trying to figure out if we're going to allow that. So we like when they hang out. You can kind of keep them under your wing and see what they're doing, I guess, even though they all seem to be good kids. But we might be doing that. I might be managing some freshmen in high school, roaming around watching the game. But we'll be at the house either way.
I got a feeling if Aaron Rodgers came to your house for Thanksgiving after games sometimes, he strikes me as the kind of guy who, where everyone else takes off their shoes and they come in to be polite, I think he would probably take his shoes and socks off and walk barefoot. Is that Aaron Rodgers style?
He's not scared to be barefoot. Yeah, he's barefoot a lot.
Yeah.
But he's actually very no, he would, even if everyone had their shoes on, he'd be the guy to ask if you need to take them off. He does dishes. He's actually a very helpful guy in situations like that.
Does he order people around when he does dishes? Like you, 63, get the plate. You, something like that.
No, surprisingly not. No, that's why I think he probably likes to do it himself, because he knows that he thinks he will do the best job at washing and drying them and everything. So he just keeps people away and we're like, all right, have fun, man. If you have a lot of pride washing dishes, it's all you. You're doing a great job.
Another question you guys can both answer from Little Italy. If OSU called and said they found one extra game of eligibility for you, would you come out of retirement to play in the game?
Oh boy, I'm sure Bob definitely could physically and mentally make it. I'm trying to think if there's enough like lidocaine / whatever drugs they could shoot up into many, many different joints in my body. I might have a chance. I would think about it. Yeah.
Bob?
So, Age, I've got this great picture of you behind me. It's the backdrop of your Lombardi Award from the inside of the Woody Hayes. And I always love looking at that right forearm. You've got a nice thick scar there from the 03 game. Like, do you look at that during the game ever and reminisce about how you just had that massive gash in your arm and Doug Callahan just jamming some Mastodol in there?
Can you guys ever hear that?
There?
My ear hitting. This has happened before. You got my ear hits my.
Oh, okay.
Someone sabotaged my phone where it starts to. It's not recording, but the screen pops on, my ear hits record or something. Someone's out to get me with this phone, but no, Bob, sorry. That scar, I got a little keloid scar on my forearm from getting getting cut in that game, yeah, and a couple people cut their jerseys. But yeah, that was a unique situation that happened. Getting sewn up in the locker room and trying to put the big forearm thing over top my whole arm to cover it up, and that got cut up. But hey, it's a rivalry game. Big things happen, I guess. But man, I don't know. I hope they get out to a fast start tomorrow. Either way, I just hope let's get out to a fast start and calm some people down, hopefully, and let's have a fun game to watch.
He's AJ Hawk. He's recording us illegally while we're going right now with him on his phone. But AJ, the scar Bobby's talking about, the scar do you remember? How did that happen? Who was it? Was there a player that hit you that did it?
Oh, it's a fullback.
I don't know the guy's name, but it sure felt like the snaps on his chin strap on his helmet were sharpened up pretty sharp because and how kind of the motion he would hit us is head swiping down and sliced my arm up and then sliced this big rubber pad I put over that later and then sliced a couple jerseys of guys on the team. So something was up for sure.
You have a Chubb obsession from Happy Gilmore where you want to find the crocodile, the guy that did that then and maybe exact revenge on him?
Surprisingly, I don't. I kind of respect the move from the guy. I forget his name. but I'm thinking all right.
See, number 32, AJ?
Oh man, it was 30-something. It really was. Now I'm sure. I don't know if he would deny it now if we confront him or whatever. But I honestly say, hey man, kind of respects for you, man. That's kind of really old school, going back to the 50s and 60s, what they used to do. You're trying to bring it back, but yeah, that was the only time I've really dealt with something like that.
Could it be Kevin Dudley, J.C. Mathis?
Jeez, see, I can't. I don't know. I honestly. Like I said, I didn't hold a ton of in the moment. Maybe I did, but we lost the game. That's what sucks. If we would have won, I would probably be more mad. But since we lost, all right, what can I do?
Yeah, it was wild. Looking at him over there. I mean, there's blood everywhere. Guys' jerseys were getting ripped, and then I think surprising AJ in the second half because the officials went over and looked at it, and then all of a sudden oh no, it's good. Everything's fine. I'm like. I mean, there was chunks out of your rubber Mueller that you put over top of it.
Yeah.
Pretty maybe remarkable stuff. Yeah, he must done some. So hopefully they'll be able to get that taken care of tomorrow. You got a prediction for the game, AJ? Any thoughts on what you think might happen?
Okay, I've been thinking about I'm thinking. Let's say 31-7. That's what I'm saying.
Oh gosh, shot out of a cannon.
I love that. That's good.
Don't you think we want to? I assume the offense and Coach Ryan, they want to, and Hartline, they want to score some points. Now, I understand they're a good squad up there, but I think the boys are they're going to come out the gates on fire.
AJ, we appreciate the time. We're going to track down this guy, and we're going to try to bring you guys together on a show at some point. Bobby, put in your notes for next year's Michigan week. We make that happen if you would, please, and just set a calendar reminder if you would. AJ, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much, bud, and have a great weekend. Enjoy watching Ohio State victory. We'll talk again next week.
All right, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you.
That was AJ Hawk there. Usually that's the last word on Friday with us. We appreciate that, which is awesome. Bob, we got to track down that fullback. We got to figure out what it was, find out the guy who did it.
I think it was number 32, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go back and watch that 03 game. But, yeah, there was something going on there because – guys' jerseys are getting scraped. AJ, it's a massive scar that he's got on his forearm. It was deep. And he said magically in the second half, it just stopped happening after the officials went over and talked to him about it.
It feels like something Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes would do, to have some kind of cutting apparatus handy to slice people up. But we'll get to the bottom of it. Bobby, I appreciate you jumping on today. I know out of town and everything's not easy for you. But a lot of fun this week. And enjoy watching the game tomorrow with your parents, your brothers, and hopefully none of your friends.
All right. Yes, sir.
That was Bobby Carpenter. I'm Tito. Big Mo over there. Thank you to Albert Breer. Thank you to AJ Hawk. We'll talk again on Monday after a Buckeye win. This is Morning Juice.